Good day. We finished the qualitative part of equilibrium. That really focused on Le Chatelier's principle. So at this point, it is hoped that you have good command of it. If you do, the math part will be straightforward. So part A, we look at KQ and what it tells us about an equilibrium. We did that briefly before, and we're going to do a little more detail on it now. Not difficult. Next thing, part B, is we'll have you write out a KQ expression. We'll give you concentration of reactants and products and have you calculate KQ. So that's very easy. C is related to B, but in this case we'll often not give you the concentration of everything, and we will give you the KQ, and we'll ask you to solve for an unknown concentration. So some very simple algebra for that. D, now things start to get a little more interesting. We're going to give you questions where we aren't necessarily starting at equilibrium. We'll give you starting concentrations, and then we may give you some information about the equilibrium, and you'll have to do what are called ice charts. Occasionally you will end up with a quadratic. So D is probably the toughest part of the section, but it's still not that tough. E, we're going to look at situations where we give you all the concentrations, we give you a KQ value, and we ask you to figure out, are we at equilibrium, or does the equilibrium have to shift left or right? And that section is called trial KQ, and it is very, very simple. And the last thing we'll look at are graphs, and we did graphs briefly earlier on, more qualitative sense, and now we'll start doing graphs in the math sense. So I would say D and F are usually what students find the most challenging, and the rest of this part of equilibrium is straightforward.